she's not younger than me, she's not skinnier than me, and she's not prettier than me, then why couldn't it just be me?
Because she's softer than you.
All right, what's up, y'all? This is Aaron Mallory, aka MrLetGo. Before we get started, make sure to do two things for me. Hit the like button before we get started, because you know you're going to forget, and subscribe to my channel.
She's not younger than me, she's not skinnier than me, and she's not prettier than me, then why couldn't it just be me?
Because she's softer than you. She's quieter than you. She doesn't yell at me. She doesn't call me an idiot or tell me to shut up all the time. She listens to me. She's nice to me.
I'm showing you this to let you know it's not just the black woman, it's the woman. Nobody wants a combative, argumentative woman. A lot of you spend so much time worrying about your beauty. Are you pretty enough? So when you think, am I enough, it's usually beauty. One of your friends are always going to be like, no, it's okay because you're so beautiful. You're going to find somebody. Nobody ever brings up your attitude, white or black. Your attitude is the thing that run men off. Imagine owning an apartment building, right? But the problem is you can't keep renters for a long period of time because they keep complaining about rats. Wouldn't it make sense to focus on getting rid of the rats instead of bringing in more renters? I think this is one of the biggest issues with women. You focus on your beauty and then you bring a guy in your life and next thing you know, he leaves and you know why. It's the same old angry, argumentative, combative mess. But you don't work on that. You just bring in another guy because you're pretty. But with the apartment building, how long are you going to go with all these people breaking their leases and leaving and not coming back and you getting bad reviews until you have this big old apartment building and nobody wants to move in and you go bankrupt? Focus on your attitude and your angry, argumentative disposition as much as you focus on your beauty, because your beauty isn't running men off. It's your attitude. The most important thing that we all have to do is to focus on what we're not good at instead of what we're good at. You're pretty. You don't have to worry about that. You have to work on retention. And retention is just like with the apartment building. You want people to stay. So with you, the focus isn't attracting a man. The focus has to be on getting or wanting a man to actually marry you and want to be with you and start a family with you. And this is the biggest thing that nobody ever wants to talk about. It's always, oh, you're so pretty. But your friends even know your attitude is trash, white or black, regardless of who you are. But nobody ever brings this up to you. The reason why is because your attitude is so bad, they don't want to hear your attitude either. You're combative to everybody, even with your friends. So your friends just tell you that you're pretty and you're going to find somebody new, but they're never going to tell you that you're not going to keep that new person. So why are you combative? Why do you think you're right all the time? Why do you not trust men? These are the questions that are important for you to just sit down and just think about. Write these things down. Because if you don't trust men overall, there's a reason why. And most likely, it didn't come from us men that you're dating. It may have came from a man that was in your childhood or a woman that was in your childhood that taught you not to trust men. Or a woman in your childhood, like your mom or aunt or whoever, that betrayed you. And you're like, yo, if the person that had me betrayed me, if the person that had me treated me like crap, if the person that had me did all these bad things or gaslighted me or manipulated me or made me feel like I'm not enough, I can't trust anybody. And that could possibly be the case. See, the truth is, we men that you're dating didn't do what you feel like we did to you. We just triggered something that happened to you before you started dating men. When you were 7, when you were 9, when you were 12. And once you actually go back to what happened, regardless of what that was, and deal with that through therapy, through coaching or whatever, and talk to the little girl inside of you who may still be hurt, now you'll finally be able to get rid of the infestation that is running the people off in the apartment building. You'll finally be able to exterminate the problem like an apartment building. And now when you attract a man because you're pretty, you're not walking around with this rigid, angry, argumentative, combative disposition anymore. Because now you finally let the childhood trauma go and you're no longer not trusting of men. Because that's really the biggest issue with a lot of women, white or black. You inherently do not trust men because of whatever reason. But my question would be to you from a common sense standpoint. If you don't trust men, how can you ever imagine starting a life, a fulfilling life with a man? That don't make no sense. But so many of you literally do not trust men. And it's not just men. You don't trust women either. So many of you would say, I don't deal with women because they're this. I don't deal with women because they're that. They're backstabbers. They're catty, all these other things. You don't trust men. You don't trust women. And I'll add another thing. So many of you don't even trust yourselves. You know, women love to run around saying you need to love yourself first. A lot of you don't love yourself. So if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust men, and you don't trust women, you don't even believe in or trust your own mother, how can you ever imagine being with a man and being happily married and having kids without it ending up in divorce? A lot of these divorces usually end by the woman. And I know men aren't perfect. Men be doing dumb stuff or whatever. But the majority of marriages end by women. We'll deal with a bunch of crap if we have a family and stuff. But the women leave. So it's like, can you keep a man? You get to that point where you can keep a man, you get a man to marry you, and then you're in a marriage, and then now you feel suffocated or controlled or whatever, and you leave the marriage because of your anxiety, because you inherently don't trust men, women, or other people or yourself. Once you focus on you, the inside of you, the infestation, just like in the apartment building, that will change your entire life. Because I want more men and women to be married. But speaking as a single guy, that type of situation with that woman is typical. There's always some fight that you gotta have with your woman. And some of y'all may say, well, it's the type of women you're meeting. Sadly, no. It's the deep-rooted insecurities inside of you that slowly start to come out once you start falling in love with a man. So in your proverbial apartment building, are they staying for 4, 5, 6 months and out of nowhere they start leaving after month number 3 or 4 or 5? Because that is usually when you start really liking a guy, falling for a guy, getting feelings for a guy, and then your insecurities start coming out. So just like with the apartment building, they're in there for like 2, 3 months, everybody's happy. And then once the rats start feeling like, okay, we got more food because now you cooking and doing stuff, you drop the stuff on the floor, now the rats start coming out. And if this is you, this is gonna keep going and happening until you make some changes on the inside, not your beauty. And like I said, therapy is always good. I will always tell anybody to go to therapy. And if one therapist doesn't work, try another therapist. Because therapists are just simply people. And sometimes two people just don't vibe together. I'm a coach. You can send me a DM on IM_MrLetGo on Instagram. Or you can go to MrLetGo.com/join to join my coaching group. And we have classes Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And no, I'm not an all-knowing guru or a therapist or anything. I'm just a facilitator of a safe space for women to come together, finally get an opportunity to learn about men, because the majority of you don't understand why men do what they do. Because sadly, you know, you'll go through 6 years of college to learn about whatever it is you want to learn about. But the most important decision you'll ever make in life is your choice of a man, but you don't spend any time learning about men. And that's what my coaching group does. I teach women how men think. I teach women what men see in the typical woman. We go through books. A couple of examples of the books that we actually go through in the coaching group is Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Another book is You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother. Another book is an amazing book called Mother Hunger. And we go over these books. Because like I said, it's not about me teaching. It's about us going through these books together and learning how to be interdependent instead of independent, and interpersonal relationships together. So there's help. But at the end of the day, running around trying to look more beautiful or different than this woman and that woman is only going to get you but so far. The number one thing that we as men need is just like what the man said in the video. We want to feel listened to. We want to feel appreciated. And we aren't getting that from the typical woman that we're dating. That's the reason why we aren't getting married. You could say men aren't ready. That's a lie. Because the actual fact may be that you are the immature person. And because you are out in the world being immature, or you have immature energy, you're attracting an immature man that doesn't want to be with you because you don't want to be with you. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think you have an argumentative, combative side to you, and it comes out at the most inopportune times? Why? And is there a reason why you have not dealt with that yet? Let me know in the comments.